Another security company truck carrying money was attacked by gunmen. This is Undiluted News. Mikey Bones reporting. Police have confirmed that a beryllium vehicle was attacked by gunmen in an attempted robbery in Balaclava, St. Elizabeth yesterday afternoon. A police source said that the vehicle was in transit along the main road when the gunmen attempted to stop the vehicle before opening fire. The beryllium crew reportedly sped off and then sought assistance from the Shiloh police. And this latest attack on beryllium follows last month's multi-million-dollar heist in Portmore St. Catherine, in which 4 security guards were injured. Meanwhile, 2 Guyanese women were arrested Tuesday night in connection with a multi-million-dollar cocaine bust at Montego Bay Sangsters International Airport in St. James. The illegal drugs was discovered in their checked luggage during a routine security check. The cocaine weighed 21 pounds in total. When the women were approached, they were about to board a Virgin Atlantic flight to London, England. Police High Command is claiming to be making progress in combating multi-million-dollar extortion rackets by organized criminal networks. Major General Anthony Anderson, the Commissioner of Police, stated at a press conference on Tuesday that the police have been successful in dismantling a number of criminal gangs over the last 2 years. Senior Superintendent Stephanie Lindsay, head of the Jamaica Constabulary Force Corporate Communications Unit, has affirmed that criminals are turning to other sources of funding as a result of the extortion crackdown. The police suspect that recent high-profile robberies are an indication that gangs are turning to heists to fund their illicit operations. Meanwhile, 2 men were fatally shot by police in Kingsland, Manchester on Tuesday. They have been identified as 22-year-old Dwayne Baker of Perth Road and Cameron Witter of Knockpatrick, both in Manchester. The men were suspected of stealing goods in neighboring St. Elizabeth. And from reports it was said that the men refused an order to stop at a checkpoint in Spurtree in Manchester and were shot after allegedly firing at the police during a chase. The police said a 9mm pistol with a magazine containing 6 cartridges was seized. Indicom and the Inspectorate of Professional Standard and Oversight Bureau are now investigating that shooting. And in another police shooting, 1 man was killed yesterday afternoon after being shot by members of the security forces in Salt Spring in St. James. The identity of the deceased has not yet been revealed. And according to police, the police military team was operating in the area around 1:30 p.m. when they were confronted by gunmen. When the shooting ended, the men were seen with bullet wounds. The security team recovered 2 firearms. Indicom has now opened an investigation into that shooting. A man has been charged with the murder of his brother, who he reportedly stabbed multiple times during a dispute in Ebony Park housing scheme in Clarendon on Tuesday. That is Anthony Smichael, otherwise called Pops, of an Ebony Park housing scheme address. Charges 39-year-old Jermaine Smichael, otherwise called Chin Chin, a laborer of the same address. Reports from the Maypen police are that about 5:30 p.m., the brothers had a dispute when a knife was brought into play and Jermaine reportedly stabbed Anthony multiple times. The police were summoned and Anthony was assisted to hospital where he was pronounced dead. Jermaine was arrested and charged. A man was shot at the entrance of the Meadowbrook Prep School in St. Andrew on Tuesday afternoon. Reports are that about 3 p.m., the man arrived at the entrance of the school on a motorcycle to pick up a student when he was attacked by gunmen traveling on another motorcycle. He was shot multiple times and was rushed to hospital in critical condition. The gunmen sped away. The incident has left several students, parents, and staff of the institution traumatized. And they said yesterday only 50 students turn up for school. Police are now probing a murder in Albion near Maypen in Manchester, where a man was shot and killed by 3 gunmen on Wednesday. Reports from the police are that about 12:30 p.m. the man disembarked a chartered taxi in Albion just south of Mandeville when 3 gunmen attacked him and opened fire, hitting him. The taxi driver, while fleeing the scene following the hail of bullets, was also shot by the gunmen. The injured men were taken to hospital where the taxi operator was admitted and the passenger was pronounced dead. And later yesterday evening in Railway Lane in Spanish Town in St. Catherine, another taxi driver was killed and 2 passengers, including a woman, were shot and injured. And it's reported that the taxi was traveling through the community when 2 armed men stepped into its path and opened fire on the occupants. The injured were rushed to hospital for treatment. You know, it's so funny. With so much shootings and murder, the police commissioner is coming on national TV and saying that crime is down by 22%. And we're trying to figure out who I'm trying to fool. Onto sports. Following Dunbeholden's Football Club's controversial 3-2 win over Mullines United in the Jamaica Premier League, assistant coach Craig Richards gave a rallying cry for the team push for a playoff spot. Playing the first game of a doubleheader at Jamaica College Ashenheim Stadium on Sunday, Captain Ricardo Thomas scored twice from the penalty spot in the 28th and the 42nd minute for Dunbeholden before Peter McGregor slotted in another in the 79th minute to give his team all 3 points. Jason Wright in the 65th minute and Nicholas Nelson in the 89th got the consolation goals for Mullines United. Dunbeholden now have 29 points and is in 8th place, which is just 5 points behind Waterhouse, who is in 6th place on 34 points, the final playoff spot. Dunbeholden will have a tough game this weekend when they face a resurging Montego Bay United. Meanwhile, Arnett Garden is still in top spot on 42 points, followed by Cavaliers on 40, Mount Pleasant in third on 37 points with Harborview, and Humble Lions on 36, with Waterhouse in 6th spot on 34 points. Portmore and Mount Pleasant will clash in a rescheduled game tonight, and a win for Mount Pleasant would see them jump back into 2nd place. And if you ever miss the news on this radio station, please go to YouTube and type in JAMAICAN Undiluted News. Listen, like, share, and subscribe to keep it going. That's going to be news and sports on your favorite radio station. My name is Mikey Bones. I gone.